everyone, I am Ellie, and today we are going to be doing a bit of a Q&A video. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about who I am and some of my challenges I've learned while cosplaying, so I decided it was time to make a Q&A. So let's go ahead and get to the questions. So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some questions that you wanted to hear my answers to. And I got a lot of really great responses. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep all of your questions. I had to pick and choose in order to keep the video at a reasonable length. But I hope you'll enjoy the questions I chose, and I do want to thank you all again for asking questions. It means the world, and I appreciate that you guys want to know more about me. So let's get started with our first question. Whitney, who is an awesome cosplayer and a published author, which is freaking awesome, she asked me, how did you get into cosplay? Now, this is one of my favorite stories. As you guys know, I'm really into magical girls. And when I was 12 or 13, I had just finished rereading Sailor Moon and had picked up Tokyo Mew Mew at Borders. This was when Borders still existed. I had read through all of this manga and I absolutely loved it, so I would spend some of my free time Googling my favorite characters and looking at pictures of them on the internet. So frequently I would find myself scrolling through pages and pages of pictures of Miu Ichigo. And eventually I came across a picture and it was real. It was like Miu Ichigo had come to life. It was insane, like, what? And with a little bit of research, I found that this was called cosplay, and it was something that people did all the time. So shortly after that, I decided that I wanted to start cosplaying as well. So I ordered my very first costume, which was Miu Ichigo. And obviously, I have been hooked ever since. Our next question is from Ashton Passion, who is also an awesome cosplayer. She asks, I've been wondering if you do or have done theater before. And the answer is a big ol' yes! I actually have my bachelor's degree in theater arts, which included everything ranging from stage design to costume design to acting and dancing and directing. Everything. I did a little bit of it all. And while I might not be the best at any one thing, I am proficient at lots of things, which is exactly what you need for cosplay. Unfortunately, I don't really perform anymore. It takes up a lot of time, and I'm a bit of an old lady. I like to be asleep by 8 or 9, so when you're out performing until 10 or 11, that's way past my bedtime. But it does help a lot for cosplay. Everything I do is influenced by my background in theater. Things like my stage performances are definitely influenced by my theater background, as well as costume design and photography, and just my confidence being in front of a camera even is thanks to my background in theater. So if you haven't done community theater or anything like that before, I kind of suggest it. It's really, really fun and it's a great experience for cosplay. So my next question is from Tater Tot Cause. They ask me, how does your significant other feel about cosplay? Well, in order to get the right answer, I actually asked him. I went up and I said I was doing a Q&A video and someone asked how my significant other felt, and he said, I think it's pretty cool. That was it. So there's your answer. He thinks it's great. I've had him cosplay with me before, and while he doesn't necessarily enjoy dressing up, he is very, very supportive and always there for me whatever I need. If that means driving me to the fabric store or helping me zip up a costume or saying that something looks good when I'm crying in the corner because I messed it up, he's always there to support me, and I am eternally thankful for that. So while he might not be into it himself, he thinks it's pretty cool. Alright, so Moonside Cosplay asked, do you plan on going to a convention on the east side of the US? The best way to sum this up is simply by saying yes. When? I have no clue, but yes, I want to go back to the East Coast. It's been quite a few years. The last time I was over there was 2015 for New York Comic Con, and that was a long time ago. Oh, I do want to come back. I don't know what it'll be for. I have Anime NYC on my radar for this year, but it really all just depends on other conventions and time and money, etc., etc. Going to the East Coast from the West Coast is pretty expensive, so I really have to plan carefully to be able to do it. So yeah, but in short, the answer is yes, I do want to come back to the East Coast sometime soon. The next question is from someone whose username I cannot pronounce, and I'm so sorry that I'm about to butcher this. We chat on Instagram, and I'm so sorry. Imperian Kyoktis is what I'm going with. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I'm gonna say. Imperian Kyoktis. So they ask, what is the best way to approach you at a convention without making a fool of myself? So first of all, let me say thank you for asking this question. It's so great. Everyone is different in what they're comfortable with and how they want to be approached. So asking this shows that you care, and I really appreciate that. Like I said, everyone is different, but when it comes to me and I'm at a convention, I definitely have my extrovertness as high up as possible. I'm not an extrovert, but I turn it as high up as I can when I'm at conventions, and I talk to everyone that talks to me. So it's super easy to just come up and be like, hey, are you Eli Ebberts? And I am this person on Instagram. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, hi! You know, things like that. Unfortunately, when I'm at conventions, 9 times out of 10, I am either working, in a masquerade, running panels, or doing photos or videos. Like, I'm always busy at conventions, so I might not have a long time to chat, but I'm definitely happy to say hi and take a selfie or things like that. So feel free to come up to me at conventions, most definitely. The next question is from Georgia Hore 24601. They said, how do you get the confidence to look so good in photos? First, thank you, I appreciate that. But second, lots and lots and lots of practice, plus my theater background. So I think the best tip I can give for people who are new to taking cosplay photos or just don't feel quite so confident yet, practice, practice, practice. I very frequently will stand in front of a mirror and try out different poses, seeing what looks good and what doesn't. Taking selfies is your very best friend. When you have your phone up here, you are getting instant gratification. You immediately see what your face looks like. So you're able to, you know, kind of turn and be like, ooh, I like my jawline here, and I don't like my ear here, so I'm gonna pose like this. And after lots of practice and getting more and more comfortable with yourself and your body, you'll be able to find poses that work for you. Next, Miu Usagi, who is another awesome cosplayer, asks me, where do you find fabric aside from Joanne and Spoonflower? So I have a few resources. When I was in college, I lived in this very small town, and it was like 30 or so minutes away from a fabric store. So I ordered 99% of my fabric and just had it delivered to my door. That was much easier for me. So I've come to some really great resources. So we have Joann's, duh. Joann's is awesome, everyone loves it. And then we have SY Fabrics. SY Fabrics is more of a wholesale fabrics person, but they have lots of really good materials and extremely fast shipping. I ordered from them on like a Wednesday and it got to me by Friday. It's priority shipping, flat rate, super duper quick, awesome. They also have satin that is comparable to Joann's Casa satin for around $5 a yard, which is a great deal. I also really like fabric.com. If you spend more than $35, they give you free shipping. Plus they can give you swatches and they have lots of variety, but they are also a bit more pricey. So it's a little bit of a give and take. I also really like a store called Fabulous Fabrics. They are on Etsy and they have a store in the Fashion District in LA. And they have a lot of really great options. They don't really have your basic satins or quilting cottons, but they're great for sparkly materials or pleathers. I really like to buy polyester dupioni from them. They have beautiful color selection, again, less than $5 a yard, and priority shipping. So that's another suggestion of mine. And then last, I really like Spandex World for when I'm buying the spandex or stretchy materials. They have a huge selection and lots of different colors and textures and things like that. So lots of options for spandex. Only downside is their shipping is expensive and you have to order at least $20 worth of material. So it's really a give and take, and it depends on what you're looking for from a fabric provider. I prefer things that have free or very, very quick shipping. So that's why I tend to go with things like Fabulous or Fabric.com or SY Fabrics. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Next, Xikino says, what was the hardest thing you've had to learn during your time sewing? Now this is something that changes for everyone, but I remember when I first learned sewing, the thing that was hardest for me, and that once I figured it out, it really clicked and set off all of my sewing habits and really learning how fabric worked, was sewing zippers. Zippers can be really complicated when you just start out. They are confusing in general, and oftentimes you'll take the pull off the teeth and it can be kind of a pain in the butt, but once you figure them out, you're kind of set for life and everything else begins to make a lot more sense. So zippers were the hardest thing I ever had to learn. All right, just a few more questions left. True to You 04 asks, are there any of your old cosplays you want to bring back? And off the top of my head, I think I would want to bring back Haruhi Suzumiya. She was the second costume I ever did, and I had a lot of fun running around as her. She has this amazing attitude and was just a really fun character to portray. So I would love to cosplay her again, but maybe a different outfit or with a bigger group or something like that. And then our last question is from Zuitara, who asks, are you super into music from your favorite anime? What's your favorite anime song? And you know, when I was in middle school and high school, I was super into anime song. Like, I loved it. Every show I would watch, I would download all the music. I'm not as much into it now unless it's Idols or Bang Dream or Review Starlight, things like that, but I still do listen to some anime music. I would say my favorite anime song, and it's been my favorite for a long time, is Crossing Field from Sword Art Online. It has this really inspirational, energetic feel, and I can't help but get pumped up when I listen to it. All right, so I hope you guys were able to learn a little bit more about me from this Q&A. I know I don't always share a lot about my personal life, but I am happy to answer questions whenever you guys have them. So if you have more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will answer them down below. As always, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to give this video a like, and if you can, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep sewing, stay positive, and have fun. I'll see you later. Bye!